I listen to you. Let me just finish.
Yeah, part of your job is to listen to me.
So on this show, I often talk about inherited privilege, whether it's through wealth, status, connections. We all understand that privilege impacts your life. Now, we all have privilege in some way. So, I mean, unless you are at the very, very, very bottom of society, we all experience some sort of privilege. But the people that don't understand their own privilege are are oftentimes what cause a lot of the problems in the world. One of the perfect examples of somebody who does not understand their own privilege is Meghan McCain. So let me play this clip from The View where Whoopi essentially scolds Meghan McCain for not understanding that she is part of a panel of people here. Watch.
President Obama's DHS Secretary Jay Johnson said we are truly in a crisis. There were 4,000 apprehensions in a single day. I know that 1,000 overwhelms the system, and I can't even begin to imagine what the 4,000 a day looks like. Last month alone, we had 100,000 migrants that were apprehended at the southwestern border. That's the highest number in over a decade. So there is a crisis at the border. How to deal with it is where the conversation goes one way or the other. He ran meat and potatoes on the economy and immigration. As you said, he has not fulfilled some of these promises that he has made. What I think is interesting is Lou Dobbs said 2 weeks ago that he wanted Kirstjen Nielsen to be fired. He said Kirstjen Nielsen is flailing and her department appears utterly paralyzed under ineffectual leadership. So the question, too, is if people like Lou Dobbs and Laura Ingraham are dictating policy and who has a job in the White House and who doesn't, at this point, why don't you just make Lou Dobbs the person in charge of this, since this is the person it seems that you are listening to when it comes to this? That being said, just one more thing. This is a hardline issue for people who live in border states. Many friends of mine, this is the number one and only issue. And if we sit here and act like there isn't a crisis, that it's crazy people living in border states that think that there's a crisis, that is a winning ticket for Trump.
Like I just said, this guy who's coming in wants to help those countries. That's the way to solve the problem. Keep them there happy or whatever. Solvent, give them a house, give them food, help them, help their children.
Give a Nicaraguan
stop the crime rates.
Well, we've had a bunch of liberal guests who do not want to send in aid
I
at
listen
all.
to you. Let me just finish.
Yeah, part of your job is to listen to me.
Okay, so here's the deal. Here's what's not going to happen today. We're not going to do this. Everybody gets a conversation piece. Everybody gets to say their piece, and we don't need to comment if we don't like what we're hearing. Just let folks talk. Yeah. So finish what you're saying.
I forgot what it was now.
All right.
Okay, first off, let me apologize to you for making you watch 2 minutes of Meghan McCain speaking, but I had to show that because it shows you that she spoke for plenty of time without being interrupted. Joy Behar says 2 sentences and Meghan McCain has to butt in. This is what happens on this show all the time. Now, usually when I cover The View, I talk about, I critique whatever topic they're discussing. Usually Meghan McCain is wrong about something and I discuss it. In this case, look, I could get into the immigration debate right now. I'm going to do a separate video on Kirstjen Nielsen, so I don't want to get into that here. But this is a case of showing you her privilege. And something that amazes me about both of the conservatives on this show, they're both there because of their fathers. So Meghan McCain, obviously her dad is John McCain. Her mother is a 100 millionaire. So her mother is the daughter of a wealthy beer distributor. So Meghan McCain is an incredibly wealthy, incredibly privileged individual. She has had everything handed to her, whether it's money, whether it's status, whether it's connections. There is absolutely no reason for her to be on this show except for the fact that her father was a senator and her mother is a 100 millionaire. That is the only thing she brings to the table. She doesn't bring any talent, any knowledge, any expertise. She brings nothing. And the other conservative on there that I have less issues with, but still it's worth noting, Abby Huntsman, the daughter of a former Utah governor, John Huntsman. Again, this is somebody that is largely there because of her privilege. Now, look, I don't know as much about Abby Huntsman. She bothers me less than Meghan McCain does. She still has some terrible views. But again, understand here, it's kind of funny that the two conservatives on this show are largely there. We're largely able to get to the place they are at today because of their fathers, because of their parents. So this is inherited privilege. We should not be propping people up like this. You should deserve to be where you are. Now, that's not to say, look, if Meghan McCain, sure, she had privilege, but she has expertise in a certain area, or she has shown, examples of really, understanding how policy works, how the entire system operates. If she brought something to the table, then I could understand. Okay, look, yes, she had a lot of privilege, but at least she worked really hard. She worked her way up, and she's here now. But that's not the case. So this is, and like, to have somebody on here who interrupts as much as she does, who brings nothing to the table in terms of intelligence or talent, who just really, she is there, I think, because she brings eyeballs. I mean, unfortunately, I wouldn't be covering The View all that often if Meghan McCain was not on it, because there would be less of a chance of The View saying something, or somebody on The View saying something completely stupid, if Meghan McCain wasn't there. So it brings them the ratings, unfortunately. But the point is, there should not be people that are in positions of power, that are hiring for these shows. You have to be able to look past that sort of statistic. You have to be able to willing to prop up people that actually deserve to be in the position that they are in.